of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I love Scott County. You don't look out and see anybody taking a knee, you know? This is a part of the meeting where we ask if anybody has any questions or comments. We can act on them, but you can go ahead and bring it up now.
I guess I should say something real quick on the Ready 2.0. It's gonna happen, so you need your ducks in a row and try to figure something out
Okay,
that you can apply for.
okay, all right. That sounds good.
500 million, 250
That's,
a year, so we wanna get some money.
yep. It would be very helpful, wouldn't it?
What's our timeline on that, Steve?
Well, this is biennium, so that the budget won't be finalized till April. It'll probably come out May, I would assume, or early May.
Marcella, did you have something?
Yeah, I got a couple maybe little questions or comments. I watched last night's meeting of the council. I was very disappointed with the county. For the ambulance, trying to get a purchase, they're going to take a loan out for like $318,000. I've been watching some of the other past meetings. You guys had like 2.5 or 3 pages of checks that people never did cash from 2015 to now. Now, I know you guys are gonna research it, you don't know if there's a time limit on when the checks should have, actually when they were distributed, if they're good or not. And then, also, there's some other money that, on the raises, they said that didn't come out right on last year, on how they did the raises on the money, didn't tab out right. And then also, there was another issue with the judge, some kind of estimate he had, like 14,000 some dollars. Mr. Ward said something about he thought he was only allowed or omitted 2,000 for that, who knows? But my theory is, why get a loan? Why not clean up with these other departments? When Nick comes to the meetings, he presents usually his budget, how his runs and everything. Out of all the departments, that's the only one I believe that pretty much throws down what they do or don't do. And an ambulance, I think is well needed. I know you guys give a lot of money to Thrive and some of these other things, but you know, an ambulance is we need that for a service.
Yeah.
And in 2000, the last guy that was over the ambulance service, last director, there was like $642,000 spent for stuff we didn't need.
Yes. We
got it down to 32,000. We ended up paying it back 130 or 47 thousand for a 3-year term. You know, it's 1 a year of payment. That's not Nick's problem. That was before him. I feel like he's taking the precautions on this. I think it's time to back off of them. Why can't we look at some of these other parts? We need to do audits. I know we got a lot of new faces. Maybe you guys can cover different areas, like why is this money missing? I know they was gonna talk to the attorney about the checks that was issued that never was cashed. You know, some of them was even payroll people. But I think that it's time to back off. I mean, you know, to me, all this art money and opioid money, why are we getting a loan for an ambulance? If it's needed, let's research it and see if we need it or not. And you bought 5 in 1 year and they're wanting to rotate them. I know it's a lot to throw at you, but I'm just concerned that I think the eyes need to be focusing and looking everywhere, not just one department picking on it. Say, hey, but I just appreciate your thought on it, and I would like research done, maybe later meetings we can find out what happened to the money, why the budget didn't come out correct, and why those checks from 2015. And when the lady brought it to your attention, she said that somebody brought it to hers to bring to you guys. You had no knowledge of that, those pages of names you had. Was that under the rug or under the table all this time?
Well, it's a different department.
Right, and I'm just saying.
The treasurers, yeah, so and the treasurers don't normally answer to us unless they need something.
But I think some of this needs, well, maybe they can do an audit on the treasury now that we got new faces. Who knows, maybe it's needed.
Yeah.
What happens to some of our money. Anyway, it's just a thought. I think that you guys are to, I think we got good ambulance service. I've heard good about it, and you know, I hate for you guys to destroy something, but I think it's gonna be good for the county.
Well, and I'm gonna address a little bit of that because we're gonna bring it up here tonight. But we was going to use some of the opioid money. or well, yeah, to take care of that. And then the council kind of went a different direction with it last night, which, you know, councils.
Cannot use the opioid money to purchase the ambulance, period.
Well,
That's not what's happening.
But you can
Right.
transfer money into that department and then take money out of that department for an ambulance, correct?
There is a proposal to, for the commissioners to consider whether certain positions within that department qualify under the Attorney General's list of opioid abatement uses. And that, I don't think we've taken action on anything, because I don't think we've had an opportunity as of yet. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna misstate your, I don't think council approved anybody to do anything relative to a loan, other than they approved the idea that with an amount not to exceed, that they would be willing to fund a line item to pay off the loan over a 5-year period at a specific interest rate. Nobody has signed anything, and frankly can't until the commissioners do that. So, I think as to the other issues, maybe I'm not understanding what the concern is, but yes, there were a list of people who we think were supposed to get checks on payroll who never cashed them. But I don't think that's a fault of anybody at the county.
I know they was gonna bring it past you to see how to handle it. Just talking about last night.
anyway, so the council, they made their avenue on how they agreed to give them the ambulance, and they kind of hold the purse strings, if you will. So we're making sure he gets the ambulance.
Thank you.
Okay, first up, Sheriff.
Yes, sir, right.
I'm sorry, did anybody else have their hand up or anything? I didn't see. Okay.
Alrighty. So the reason why I come for you tonight is we had, was wanting to buy 3 new police cars. Part of our rotation that we did back in 2019 with the county council and the commissioners, we had the same thing at the ambulance. The prior sheriff was here before me was buying used vehicles from Clark County. Well, the problem with that is used vehicles are used vehicles. So we had to try to get a fleet up and going, and now we're just now getting to that rotation part. Would be 3 F-150s. I've already got the money.
Okay.
I've already got the money in my budget. It was budgeted last year for the vehicles. So I spoke to you. This is a little bit different because police cars now are in a major shortage. You can't get them anywhere. We had spoke to John Jones, and they said it would be April before they would even talk to us about a car. So we got turned on to Bloomington Ford, and they had we actually had 5 trucks. That's what they had left. So we was able to get 3 of them, and that's what we had to give them a decision, because it wasn't, they was gonna give them to somebody else. So I appreciate your guys' flexibility on that, when you gave me the permission to do that. But I wanna do it, obviously, we gotta do it in a public
Right, we
meeting.
had to do the public meeting.
So, if you got any questions, I'm free to ask, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty self-explanatory when we talked about it before.
No, just because somebody's gonna ask me later, what line item are you using this? for?
Sheriff's car, it's under
Okay.
sheriff's car,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. You have any questions, Greg?
No, just for people that, don't really know what's going on so much, you know, Jerry had the opportunity to get these trucks, and so he reached out to all 3 commissioners and, gave him approval to get those trucks before they were gone, so. We're just kind of doing business and cleaning stuff up now, so.
Yeah.
so-
And glad to buy new.
Yeah, well, we're getting that rotation, and we've got it figured out, we've done the plan on it, so every 3 to 4 to 5 years now, we'll be getting 2 to 3 vehicles about every 3rd year. So we've got it planned out, so that way we can catch up and keep new vehicles in fleet, because I got over 24 vehicles now, it's got over 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I get to see your expense report. And I know last month it was like $3,700 in parts.
just to keep it, and here's
That's-
something about it too, is this, and you're right on base. We have to have, I've got 41 total cars in our fleet. That's everything, that's for the transports, we've got like 5 transport cars, That's administrative cars, like for going to and from the lab, different places. But we could cut that down if I had newer vehicles. We have to have an extra amount of vehicles because of the vehicles we got are in such bad shape that you may go a shift and lose 2 or 3 vehicles where you've gotta have, these guys can't walk and they have to respond to calls. So we had to have extra vehicles. And what I'm wanting to do is, the plan is to pare down the number of vehicles that we have, you know what I'm saying, so we get the vehicles that are dependable that we can use to do that with. It's the overall scheme of it. Of course, you can't do it overnight, because I can't come in and say, hey, I need 20 new police cars. But if we can do it 3 to 5 a year, and it's something else you need to think about too, is the school vehicles. See, those vehicles are 4 years old now. So that's something that you had an agreement with the school on equipment. Just throwing it out, you know, nothing, you know what I'm saying, just look into it and see, because those vehicles, we would be coming up now to the life of those vehicles would be turned over, where we need to make a decision whether the school's gonna help us out
Yeah,
purchasing
that'd
more.
be my question, I mean.
Yeah, so and that happened before you was here, Randy, so you, and Greg too, obviously, so that's something you just need to talk to Mike about and see, you know what I'm saying, what we need to do about that, just something just to throw it out there for you, nothing.
I mean, obviously, the school's got more money than we do, you know,
Well,
so,
they'll tell you that wrong, they'll tell you you're wrong, probably.
well, I'm sure they will, but we all know better.
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
So,
All I need you to do is just sign that, Randy, right there. Here's an
Can I
active.
ask how much they're gonna be total, what the total is?
Yes, there is, well, no, man, hold on just a second, I can't do it unless they give me permission to do it. so.
you make them.
I think if the representation is that it's in the budget, I would say you can answer the question.
The total on it it's gonna be for 3, police responders, a 2022 Ford, 2022 Ford, and a 2023 Ford. Was able to get a brand new one. For all 3 vehicles, it's gonna be 5 payments spread over 5 years. The total asset cost is $143,946.75, and the amount financed to be $144,491.75. That's the total. So.
And you're pulling it out of, you plan to pull it out of your sheriff's card lit?
That's something we talked about in the council meeting,
I'm
because, yeah, we do.
I'm asking, was that your, when you said
Sure.
this,
I didn't hear what you said.
when it's getting pulled out of the sheriff's car?
Sheriff's car budget.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that.
Yeah, that's where it's
That's
coming out.
where you were planning on doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that was something we discussed. Like I said, I got a running agreement I had with the council, you know what I'm saying? They give me $65,000 a year for cars. So we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, adjust those. And what we can do is this year I can get 3 because we still got a payment on 2 cars. So next year with the $65,000, hopefully that the council gives me, I can buy 2 more new ones. And then we keep doing that. See, then we're gonna have new vehicles. And I'm hoping that we can get to the point, it'll be long after I'm gone. But hopefully we'll be to the point where we can sell these vehicles like other police agencies do and actually make money on them, or trade them in and get something back instead of having to take the wheels off of them and steal parts just to keep a car going.
Now, you've auctioned off some vehicles.
Yes,
How
absolutely.
many of you?
I don't know off the top of my head, because we got leasehold vehicles, we got police vehicles, we got a bunch of different stuff that we auction off, so I can have it for you, I can figure it out though in the next time, I just don't have the research on me.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to tell you 8 if it was 10 or, because I really don't know off the top of my head.
Could you give us a list of vehicles, have somebody send over a list of the vehicles that you have, just so we can make sure that,
Yeah, I have
and what's
Vehicles
wrecked and
is-
what's not, so we
Yeah.
know
right.
what's on the insurance or what shouldn't be on the insurance.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it is this too, on the insurance, whenever we have one that's taken off, we always notify, you know what I'm saying, the auditor's office, and then also notify the, you know what I'm saying, insurance. Now, whether it gets taken up, you know how things happen in the translation of it, whether it happens or not, it does, but that's the way we usually do business, but I've got a list that we keep, because obviously vehicles is a very major component to what we do. So I have a list that's given to me by my mechanic, Jeremy McIntosh, and he tells me the vehicles that we need to get rid of, that is gonna die on us, or the good vehicles, hold on to these a little longer, he's doing that.
I think the general idea is that we wanna know how many vehicles we're using at any one time.
Right, we got it, I got it,
If we,
41.
and if the plan's to, over time, replace essentially, we just wanna make sure that, we're not increasing the total number of vehicles, we're actually
Should we decrease it?
staying
The
the
plan
same
is
or
to
decreasing.
decrease.
That's
Absolutely.
fine, I just
Yeah.
want them to be able to you know, understand how.
No,
it's
that's the
working
plan, that's what I
for
said,
council
when
to
you,
come to.
when you purchase used vehicles that already wore out, then you're not gaining any ground. So we had, when I came in, we had to purchase some used vehicles too. The commissioners allowed us to do that so we could keep the fleet going.
I'm not questioning.
Okay, no, I know
I'm
that.
just
I'm
talking
just-
about total numbers,
Right.
just being able to.
We should be able to
calculate.
decrease with newer vehicles.
Great, thank you.
Greg, you have anything? Make a motion?
I didn't know if you, you know, like at the state, you know, we always had those mileage logs. I don't know if you guys had those statewide too, but cool vehicles. And, that's,
It's got miles, got
So
vehicle.
that-
We keep track of everything. I
yeah,
have
so
to.
that kind of helps give everybody the idea, you know, you need 41, but it shows how many miles you're actually using on different vehicles, and the thing about this, it justifies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so that's good that you have that.
Would you like to make a motion?
On the cars? Yeah, I'll make a motion, for the sheriff to, purchase the 3 F-150 for $143,946.75.
All right, Greg makes a motion for the sheriff to, allow the sheriff to, get a loan for a purchase of $144,000, right?
Yeah, the total on it was,
Fine,
yeah.
yeah. And then, for 3 new F-150s,
Yes.
I'll just make it here, so I'll make it unanimous.
And we're going to trucks with everything too, because they're just more durable.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
It was 144, how much?
He's got, it's on that
Okay.
right there, so. Oh, hold on a second. Here you go, here you
What you got?
go. And again, I want to reiterate, I appreciate your all's, flexibility on this, because usually we don't have to do it like this, but you know, these circumstances, you know what I'm saying? We have to work with to get things done.
And I get it, because, you know, even at state level, that's why, you know, guys are driving around with trucks with 200,000+ miles, rusted up, and everything, you can't buy them. So it's just,
Just sign above my name, Randy, and then I'll print above mine.
There you go, sir.
Thank you, buddy, appreciate that.
Thank you, have a good day. Oh, here's this back here.
Okay, do you need that?
I can keep it in the
Yeah,
minutes.
just keep it if you
Okay,
want to.
yeah, I can leave that.
That way, because I've got extra copy of it.
Okay, all right, that'll be great.
All right, I wanna, again, that's all I got. I do wanna thank you guys, and also I was kind of bouncing off Marcella's thing back there. I just wanted you guys to know that over the last 4 years, the Scott County Sheriff's Office has turned back over $500,000 to taxpayers that we didn't use, and it was budgeted to us to use. Over $500,000 in 4 years.
That's pretty good.
So,
Everybody likes to hear that.
yeah.
All right.
thanks, guys.
Now I'd like to amend the agenda, and we're just gonna bring Denise Vaughn up next.
This is really fast. I gave you guys a memo that was signed off. We did not add any names to the war memorial last year. I have 7 names to add this year. We've normally done with the same engraver that does it, Aaron Lewis. He's done it normally, he knows the font, how to do it. His itemization, I guess, is that we used to by letter and now it's by line, so $700. You guys already have it in your budget to do it. I just need y'all's thumbs up so I can get it started and get it going.
All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and name the names,
Yes,
that
sir.
way everybody knows. It's Travis E. Roll, Wesley D. Roll, Judy Roll Highfield, Sean D. McNair, Dwayne H. Nolan, and Mitchell B. Lovins.
And those will all go on the Desert Storm wall. They all hit the criteria for the Desert Storm wall, so all will go on the same wall. And Aaron said he could do it whenever we want to. It'll probably be on a weekend, so there's not so much traffic on the square for him to do it.
I see no problem with it at all, I think it's a great idea.
You need a motion to that. I'll make a motion to add these names to the desert storm.
All right, and I'll make that unanimous. Thank you.
And the other piece is just to let the commissioners know, we are having our annual, state conference. The 31st of May, it will be in Indianapolis. I'll be in attendance. Tom is still in the question area right now, but I have to go to maintain my accreditation, so I'll be out of the office that day.
All right.
That's
Thanks,
all.
thanks
Any
for what you do,
questions?
Denise.
No problem.
Thanks, Denise.
No.
Can you email me the name of the list of the names of the people that put on it?
All right, Kevin Hall.
Thank you.
Once you get up to this, so go ahead. Usually like way down.
Okay, so, first thing I got is, unofficial detour for NDOT for some construction that's gonna go on for the county. Looks like 203 will be closed and we'll be utilizing Plymouth Road for the detour. And then Tank Pond Road to Gooden Road and then Mace Road for 203. And yeah, I guess that'll be it. Be Goodwin Road, Tank Pond Road, and Plymouth Road for the unofficial detours for the construction. Coming up this year. We don't have the exact date, but anyway, I'd like to see if we could make a motion to have Mike sign this out of a meeting, so I don't have to wait till the next meeting to get it signed, but if you wanna check it out, basically.
That's fine with me. Greg, you wanna make a motion to let Mike sign that outside of me?
All of you need to sign it, but he's not here, so.
I'll make a motion for Mike to sign this outside of the meeting.
All right, I'll make that unanimous.
Next thing I got's for, this, on-call contract for United Consulting. There's no monetary value to it. I think I already sent it to you guys, you probably checked it over, so. That just gives us options if needed.
Yeah.
Do we have to sign anything? Or we just-
Yeah, sorry, I should flip that on there, it's somewhere.
There it is. I'll make a motion that we retain United Consulting for on-call engineering services as needed.
I'll make it unanimous.
I'll sign that, but they'll need to correct that sheet.
Oh, okay.
The signature sheet's not right. I think Randy, I remember you pointing that out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't pick that up.
Actually, it's all wrong, so.
What was that under? John?
John, I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, so Randy's vice president.
We can get correction on it, I think next week, next meeting, we'll do that deal.
All right.
Slide those down. So,
Here you go, fellas.
we have several sealed bids for, annual bids. I think probably per Zach, we'll just open these up and table them, go over them till the next meeting.
That's the.
Yeah,
I think that's the
we'll go ahead and
That's the
open
best
them up,
plan.
and that way it's,
The first one's on, Silvercon. Silvercon sent us, just about all the products that they offer. All the way from, guardrail to limited boss culverts, plastic liners, erosion control products. So, I guess we'll just table it till the next meeting. Zach, have you gotta read these prices out?
Yeah.
What about like this one? So, this is the annual bid for all their products. I mean, it would be all day.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
And do you want a letter opener or something?
I probably need some to help. So this is from your Rejuvenate, rejuvenation product. We used some last year. Looks like it's $1.36 per square yard. Thank you. Put down.
Would you like to get somebody doing this up here, staying close?
Yeah. So Mac Construction, sent in a bid for, HMA type A surface, $60 per ton, material only. HMA type B, $60 per ton. HMA binder, $56 a ton. And HMA base, $47 a ton. And, performance code mix, $40 per ton. They did send in additional hourly trucking rate of $120 an hour for materials furnished to Scott County paver, in Scott County. 48-hour notice to schedule trucks. Rates to be charged from port to port. So they have an option for us to pick it up or to bring material.
Okay.
Is it specified where they're bringing it from?
I'm sorry, what is it?
Where they're bringing it from, does it say?
Mac would be down there around Hamburg Heights. Pretty sure it's where it's coming out of. I talked to him a little bit about that, and, you know, later in the year and some scheduling with them, you know, it wouldn't be a big deal for them to put 40 tracks on a job and then bring them to us. So there might be some options there that gives us some room to look at. I'm gonna put this back in there because it'll be easier to track. With $60 a ton, good price
Yeah, that's
compared to
good
where it
price.
was at. And open up the ones that are material, it'll be easier. This is from the Stone Quarry. You know, they price it every year, so, the size of the rocks, 11s is $17.35 a ton. Riprap's $15.40 per ton. 9s $15.30 per ton. 8s are $15 a ton. 5s are $14.75 a ton. 53s and DRBs is $11.45 a ton. 73s is $11.70 a ton. And 2s is $11.65 a ton. It looks like slate's $5.30 a ton, and They've included delivery costs to the county garage, $5 a ton if ever needed. So the rest of those prices are just pickup only.
How much was the slate?
It is $5.30 a ton. Got the paperwork.
You remember how much we paid for the slate out there for Go-Go's? What's that?
It's probably comparable. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't remember, but 530 don't sound bad.
Okay.
This is Dave O'Mara. So Dave O'Mara has several plants. And unfortunately, when I was talking to him, Scott County probably won't be open that much, but, so they just sent us a price per whatever plant's open or available that we can get it at. So 61
For asphalt, huh?
for asphalt, yeah. It all depends on the jobs that they have on what plant's open. If we had a big enough order, they could possibly open the plant just for us, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Or build their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HMA type A surface, 6150. HMA type B surface, 6250. HMA binder, number 9, $60.50, and HMA base, number 5, $59.50, and then job site, furnished, delivered, no bid for that. The rest of it's their paperwork.
Might kind of beat them out a little bit.
They did, but I gotta talk to Zach. I mean, some of this will make logistic sense on where you're at in the county and so on and so forth. But yeah, they beat them a little bit. This is a KLB Excavating Inc. So, you know, we're looking at options to drive some costs down on our bridges and guardrail work and so on and so forth. So, we put out to bid, labor of foreman, operator, carpenter, field tech, and then also equipment that you offer, and it's an hourly per rate. And then, you know, if we go with a job, we'll just ask for a not to exceed bid. And then whatever hours it comes up, what our bid will be. Anyway, it's a low boy, 130, 2-hour minimum. Pickup and trailer, $70, 2-hour minimum. Pickup, 60, 2-hour minimum. Median excavator, 195 an hour. And that's with the operator. Obviously, it's not just renting equipment. It's, 34,000 to a 50,000 pound excavator, $215 an hour. Skid steer, 9,000 pound, $150 an hour. Single axle dump truck, $75 an hour. Tandem axle dump truck, $100 an hour. Small dozer, $125 an hour. Large dozer, $165. Smooth wheel roller, $75. Power broom, $110. Water distributor, $100. 20-ton class, $125. 50-ton class, $200. 8-hour minimums on this. Sorry. Pile hammer with leads, 8-hour minimum, $150. Concrete forms with hardware, $75. 4-hour minimum. Concrete mixture, $100. 4-hour minimum. Concrete vibrator, $15, 4-hour minimum. Concrete vibrator screed, $100, 4-hour minimum. Electric welder, $60, 4-hour minimum. Torch set, $20, 2-hour minimum. Air compressor, $60, 4-hour minimum. Air hammers and drills, $20, 4-hour minimum. Electric generator, $60, 8-hour minimum. Water pump, 4-inch, include hose, $70, 4 hours. Water pump, 2-inch, include hose, $50. Small power tools, $40, 4-hour minimum. Small hand tool, shovels, rakes, $10, 4-hour minimum. Plate compactor, $25, 4-hour minimum. Construction layout equipment, $25, 4-hour minimum. Chainsaw, $25, 4-hour minimum. And hydraulic hammer attachment, $125, 8-hour minimum. Rigging is $50. It doesn't show any minimum on that. Foreman for the job, $80 an hour. Operator, $70 an hour. Skilled labor, $60 an hour. Unskilled labor, $50 an hour. Carpenter, $70 an hour. And a field technician, $100 an hour. And that was KLB for paperwork.
Where are they from?
Austin, Kevin Brown. Yeah, for sure. A little bit of this is, seems like double, but there's a few extra things on there. I'll go through it. Low boy, 132 hour.
Who was that?
KLB. This
Oh,
is
it's still
KLB.
Kelby,
It's
okay,
also-
I'm sorry.
Mini excavator, 12,000 pound, 150. Some of this was repeat, some of it ain't, so I'm gonna concrete saw, walk behind, 95 an hour. Air compressor, 60, 2-hour minimum. The rest of this is repeat from what was on there except this. Jet vac for utility locates, $150 an hour, 4-hour minimum. Any roadside mowing, $140 an hour. Same way here, foreman 80, operator 70, labor unskilled 60, labor unskilled 50. The first few of that was repeat, so I'll look through it. And this is roll excavating. Out of Scottsburg. Low boy, $150. I'm sorry, $115. He has no minimums on his, so it's 115. Operator included. Pickup trailer, 65. Pickup, 65 an hour. 12,000 pound mini excavator, 145. Medium size excavator, 160. Skid steer, 145. Single axle dump truck, 120. Tandem, 125. Concrete saw, 35. Electric generator, 20. Water pump, 2-inch, 20. Small power tools, 25. Small hand tools, 25. Plate compactor, 25. Construction layout equipment, 30. chainsaws 15, hydraulic hammer attachments for the excavator 150 an hour. That was all hourly rated. Foreman $45, an operator $35, labor skilled $25, labor unskilled 18. Same way on this side, there's several repeats on here, so. The only thing different on this page is concrete forms and hardware, $45. The rest of it's the same thing as on the other page.
Moving along. All-Star Paving out of Seymour. All-Star did some preservation work for us last year on a few roads. They've sent us the square yard price for Liquid Road, which is equivalent to what we use around Lexington, is $475. This is installed. Action Pave, and these are 10,000 square yard minimums, so 10,000 and above. Action Pave, $475. Nero Road, $475. An Asphalt Rejuvenator, Revolution, $10,000. 10,000 square yards, $1.50 square yard. And that was for their line of preservation products.
How's those spots that they did last
So far, so good. The rejuvenation part of it, the Liquid Road worked out real well. But we did a lot of prep work probably to make that happen, but the rejuvenation itself that we use like on Harrod Road and Bull Rogers Road, we probably need to like pull some cores before we do a road and then pull some after really to kind of see, well, it's actually working. There's a lot of companies out there wanting to do, 8s and 9s on scale, pacer scale, which is a tough sell for me, but they want to try to get it before it goes bad, which, makes sense, but.
There's so many products that.
There is a lot of products. This is All-Star, and this is also their emulsions and their preservation products. No product. So they priced us crack sealer by the pound, and it's $85 installed. That's putting out. And then Asphalt Rejuvenator Revolution is $10 a gallon. So we're gonna look at that. 85 cents a pound. Put down, it's a pretty good price.
So we don't do like crumb rubber yet, do we?
We did last year, and we done about 18 pilots. So a lot of these companies won't give you an annual bid on it because the price is moving all over the place. So All-Star gave us an annual bid to install it. They gave a price per pound to put it down and everything. So it's 85 cents. So
how's the guys like doing it?
cheap.
Okay.
Well,
No,
you've been around long enough to know that answer.
That's why I asked.
No, it wasn't too bad. This is the same thing, but it's a different product. It's a crack sealant, but a different number product, and it was 75 cents. And then a different asphalt rejuvenator, which was $9 a gallon, so.
Is that still on sale?
That's still on, sorry. So I'll have to look, the difference in the actual product. This is all star too. This is their labor rates for their equipment. Low boy, 185 an hour. Pickup trailer, 45. Pickup 40. 8-hour minimum. Everything's 8-hour minimum on theirs except the low boy is 4 hours. 12,000 pound mini, 140. Skid steer, 125. Medium excavator, 185. Tandem 125, single axle 100, concrete saw 110, air compressor 30, generator 25, water pump 55, water pump 2-inch 25, small tools 150 a day, small hand tools 125 a day, 8-hour day.
Generator and all, is any of that have a minimum?
8 hours.
Okay.
Plate packer 25. Construction layout equipment 50, chainsaw 25, hydraulic hammer attachments 110, rigging for culvert installations $1,500 a day for 8 hours. Actually, I'm sorry, there's a day, 8-hour day. 100-ton crane and smaller $400 an hour, 8-hour minimum. 10-ton smooth roller $110 an hour. 5-ton smooth roller, $80 an hour. A 1-ton smooth roller, $40 an hour. 66-inch sheep's foot, $110 an hour. Their labor rates is foreman $95 an hour, operator $90 an hour, skilled labor $75 an hour, and unskilled labor $75 an hour. Let's see, on this page, the only thing that's different is road widener, skid steer attachment, $60, 8-hour minimum, and everything else is the same on it. Sorry, labor's not. Foreman $95 an hour, operator $90 an hour, labor skilled $75 an hour, unskilled $75, carpenter $80, and field technician $95. So that was everything on the construction end of things, culverts, bridges, guardrails, plus.
Yeah, I would just say generally that CivilCon submitted pricing for culverts and accessories, aluminum box culverts, aluminum, what is that, plate, steel multi-plate, plastic liners, storm units, erosion control fabrics, grid, precast bridges, boxes and fixtures, steel and concrete beams, guardrails, and bridge accessories. All materials meet all federal and state highway specifications with the design load to meet NDOT specifications. All materials are manufactured in the US, and again, the pricing is, rated for size and material, and there's basically 200 pages of it. So you don't have to read it.
Good. This is separate, so when, we had to, put out legal bids for mowing equipment, so Mower Max sent one in, and, it's a boom mower with the abilities to, mow beside itself in one lane, kinda like the Savage we talked about. They come back the same price, so we kinda knew 233,662. Seymour does have one, so if we ever wanna look at one, it's there,
Where at?
the city.
More max was how much?
$233,662.75. John Deere sent one. Rod implement. That's Amtex. I don't know if I told you, I said Mower Max, but the company was actually Amtex.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
So John Deere sent one, John Deere 6110 M series cab tractor. The tractor itself is $102,725. The 24-foot boom mower attachment with the swivel head is $86,000. So the grand total on those two pieces together is $189,115.68. And it has the same ability as the other machines. And that they're on state contract too.
So that boom is it set up?
It's 24-foot boom, but it'll actually come down in that knuckles and it'll set down beside the front tire and turn. So if you're mowing if you're actually just mowing a 5-foot set aside, you're in one lane, on one side of the road. But it also can go up 24 foot and brush cut.
Okay.
So it's dual ability.
Yeah.
Savage did not send one.
Dual ability, but only one attachment.
Yes.
Yeah.
One attachment, dual ability. Basically, it comes down, it turns a 360 and it sits down right by the front tire.
Yeah.
So it's basically a side mount, but it's on a boom that has the ability to do that.
Right.
And then the Mower Max has the same thing. It does the exact same thing, except it's that product. And then the actual Savage that we didn't get a field bid back on, it has two attachments. It has one in the front that goes down but does 5 foot, and then it has a boom on. So
That Savage, is it gas?
it's a gas one. This has a Cummins motor in it, the Amtex, and then John Deere has John Deere, I guess, diesel. It's a diesel motor. So. Anyway, I guess we can just table these and come back to them at a later time.
Yeah, I'd ask that you table them until, Mike is back.
That's fine.
So Savage never got back with us on price?
No, I reached out to them a couple times, I'll be honest with you. I think they had a bad taste. There it is.
I need to make a motion to table that.
Yeah, Greg makes a motion to table these, for the next meeting. I'll, make that unanimous.
Thanks, Greg. Read all that off. That was a lot.
All right, that's it.
That's it?
I just have one other thing.
It's enough, isn't it?
I'd ask that you have an agenda for this, to add the DLZ contract for right-of-way acquisition services.
So, yeah, we amend the agenda for the DLZ, and that's gonna be for the land acquisitions for Bridge 105. This will be the agreement for them.
Okay.
If you'll go into it's on the front page of exhibit A.
Kevin, did you say Bridge 105?
Yes, Main Street, Bridge 105.
All right, so we're gonna amend the agenda to, go ahead and take care of land acquisitions at Bridge 105, which is the Main Street Bridge.
Local services.
Amount not to exceed that. And exhibit A defines the scope of services.
Okay.
I think if we could, do the same thing on this and see if Mike can sign this outside of meeting. That way we can keep this.
I would just approve, if you're gonna approve it, I would approve for Mike to sign outside of the meeting. I think it has Mike's name on there because that was my discussion with, the representative from DLZ, to put him on there.
Okay.
I think at the time I didn't know that Mike was gonna be out of town, so, again, I would request go ahead and approve the contract tonight. I think, these are some necessary steps that we have to go through for the project to move forward at all. And the services that are necessary are things that are just beyond the scope of what I would be able to do. So if you look in there, you'll see the appraisal process, the offer to seller, negotiation services, the specifically, I think one of the important ones was the price. What is in the determination of just compensation.
So they're handling the combination and the whole process.
It won't do that side of it if it goes to that, but this is the front end work that you have to do before you move to the second step that only occurs if you can't come to a resolution.
I make a motion to approve, the not to exceed, $16,368 for, DLC's right-of-way services for Bridge 105.
All right, so Greg's made a motion to allow DLZ to handle land acquisitions, with a not to exceed, I don't have that price, but $16,000. Dollars.
$16,368.
$16,368. And I'll make that unanimous. And you wanna make a motion for Mike to sign this outside the meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for Mike to sign that agreement outside of our meeting.
All right, Greg makes a motion for Mike to sign this outside of the meeting, and I will make it unanimous.
Looks like they gave us a pretty good price on that too, so.
Yeah, I think so. The beams have been officially ordered for 105, so probably looking around August. So hopefully if this comes in and, we'll be started on that project.
Start clearing.
Yeah.
And the pricing was all with, or based on what I could tell from the description, it's all within like NDOT specifications for pricing for this type of work, so.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Kevin. Mr. Lowry. That's okay, come anytime.
Mr. Chester has agreed to come and sit with me as well. Gentlemen, first I will apologize for my voice. I'm losing my voice, so I apologize.
I was
for
there
that.
last night.
That's going around. Everybody
It
seems
is.
to be having that.
I think early spring.
I feel fine, but it's just the voice is gone. I met with you guys very recently about our festival, and tonight we're here to talk about the reservation of the square. We talked a little bit about that. I was in last week and met with Jennifer, and we talked. Mike will give you a little bit of background as well too. As you guys know, we're kind of in a state of flux with some things, here in the community regarding this. So we'll let Mike, I guess, maybe start it, and I'll jump in here as well. But we want to see if we can move forward with this reservation of the square.
As you've read, Mayberry comes to Scottsburg is a recent grant recipient from the Scott County Visitors Commission. We're very excited to support this because of what we've read and what we've seen through past history of this event, as well as what Eric and his planning committee has already put in place for this year. It looks like it's going to be a great event for not only Scottsburg, but all of Scott County, and a tremendous economic development for our area. Originally, when I met with Eric, we talked about our agency being kind of the fiscal administrator. But as we have gone through going through this transition and becoming a department of county government, it's probably not in the best interest for the festival. And with the learning curve that is going to be taking place, that is taking place for both of us, we felt that it's probably in the best interest to utilize a different entity here in town. And that's the recommendation that we're going to be making is that Eric utilize the Scottsburg Main Street as a fiscal administrator. I think not only will he be able to develop a strong number of volunteers to assist with this event, but also they will keep a very accurate and can actually pay bills probably a little quicker than what we would be able to do through the county. But I wanted to come tonight not just to give you that background and that information, but to also ask you to reserve the weekend here on the square if you can, while we work with Scottsburg Main Street to get the appropriate paperwork submitted. And we believe we can probably get that submitted here by week's end. But I wanted to come tonight to let you know that we're a strong supporter of this event. We think it's going to be not just a tremendous success this year, but it's going to be a great event for Scottsburg and all of Scott County for years to come.
Since our grant award, we've already been able to contract with several of our special guests, our celebrity guests that we've mentioned there, so we're getting that underway. I've been told that there are at least a half dozen people who've already made hotel reservations, and we're still working on getting our blocks lined out. So we've got people from Tennessee, from Missouri, and from Illinois who've already told me we've got our reservations. So we're really excited about that part. So we submitted a document, but we'll get that amended and updated as we go through this process.
If you will utilize that document as a hold until we can get the official addition, yeah.
I understand there's, later in the agenda, there are some considerations as well. And I think maybe in that list is, you guys are probably familiar, last year Kevin Smallwood and his group had music regularly on the square. He and I had a discussion. I think on his schedule was our Saturday night event as well, our Saturday night weekend. But we've had our conversations about that. Our main event is going to be a ticketed event that's fairly limited in space as far as seating. And so we're liable to have quite a few people looking for something to do. We'll be wrapping up on the square about the time he's getting ready to start. I think it's going to be good for both of us that our folks may bleed over into his folks. He'll have something for our people to do as well. So I don't think there's going to be any conflict there, because we'll move out, he'll move in, and I think we can arrange all of that without having any issue. So if that does come up in that consideration, just know that we've already had that discussion, and we really feel confident that we can work that out and make it just a great weekend for everybody.
Right. That sounds good.
I know the last time you was here, you kind of hit on that. You was talking about the celebrities, so you're nailing everybody down, right, for that weekend? Is everybody pretty open?
I want to. They really are. I want to, in some way, keep some of that back a little bit as surprises, but I will tell, and I'd mentioned some names last time, so we've got, Don Knotz's daughter under contract, we've got Andy Griffith's daughter under contract, we've got a fellow named Ronnie Shell I was telling you about last time under contract already, Dream of Denver, Bob Denver's wife, most best known as Gilligan, but she's an author and she was involved in, so we've got 4 of those people already under contract, plus our tribute artists. We got about 3 of them already under contract. So anyway, it's all coming together really, really well.
Yeah, and that must show how special this event is to them, because obviously some of these people, like Gilligan's wife, is up in age, I'm sure. So
yeah,
for them to make that travel and come in must be very important.
Ronnie Shell is 90 years old, and he's already sent me his promo packet. Yeah, here are my pictures, here's all my bio, use this, if we got to. He's very excited about it. So, got one more gal who is 94, who is very, very excited about it as well. And don't have her under contract yet, but we've had a discussion. So anyway, yes, it's a great thing. The people are excited about coming, and we're looking forward to it. And I'm just very, very, I think proud is probably an appropriate word, to be able to bring this to my hometown, to my home county. I want these people to see what it is that we know and love about Scottsburg and Scott County too. So I'm excited about that part.
The city's loss is our gain.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed. So if you have any other questions or anything, or if you have anything else, like this is what we really wanted to do. Because we're in a little bit of a state of flux, we have some of that still to line out, but we certainly appreciate your support and consideration.
Absolutely. Anything you need, just let us know. We'll work with you to partner to make this a success on, whatever we need to do.
Yeah, very good. And I appreciate that very much.
Call us all individually or come back anytime.
We'll do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you need any action on anything specific other than the permit application?
No. Okay. Not this time. We'll be back, I'm sure. Thank you.
All right. The Scott County Regional Sewer Board.
I'm gonna ask Jonathan and Randy to come on up also. I'm Tom Cyphers. Sorry, I didn't recognize you. Good to meet you.
Hey, Tom.
Hi. I'm the attorney for the Scott County Regional Sewer District. And we have with us our engineering firm, Shane Spicer and Jonathan Brown here. Shane's gonna stay seated back there. Jason Combs is our maintenance supervisor. Randy Moffett is our chairman, president. And Joe Gibson's with us also, and he's one of our board members and our vice president. The reason we're coming before you today, and I previously submitted some information through the county auditor, is we have an opportunity just west of town. There's plans for a development. And to service that development is going to require the installation of some sewer infrastructure. That is the information we gave you. So we have obtained a cost estimate, and we've got the drawings, the maps that were completed with specifications for what it's going to take to do this. The cost estimate put together for us by lawyer was $672,658.94. And it's broken down in detail there, and I forgot to bring mine, but I think Randy and Jonathan have theirs. So what do we do about that? Where do we get that money? And the reason we're here today is to ask you to consider extending the ARP funds, the ARPA funds, to support this project. As you've probably heard, we've been in some legal maneuvering with the city of Scottsburg, ironing out who's in control of what. We think that's coming to a resolution, and ultimately they deeded over or transferred over their easement that they had for that area, because this was in our service territory. So we think development out here is a good thing for Scottsburg. Growth is good. It benefits the district and our customers in a couple of ways. First, the more we have, the more customers we have to spread our costs over, the more it benefits everyone. So, but secondly, I think just having more development always increases the opportunity for yet more development. The more infrastructure we get in place, the more opportunities we have to continue to grow. So my understanding is that, you know, these funds are approved through the county, first through the commissioners, then through the council. It's my understanding you guys would make a recommendation or not make a recommendation to the county council. And we appeared last night before the council, and appreciate them hearing from us out of turn, because the thought process is this: if we don't get funding for this, we need to go out and borrow the money and just add to our cost base, which gets passed along to the customers. So, or not develop it. So if we borrow money, the SRF, State Revolving Fund, has a program where we can borrow fairly inexpensively through them. There's a deadline of April 1st every year to get applications in for funding. So that's why we wanted to put the council on notice and kind of give them a heads up. Here's what we're going to be going to the commissioners for. Hopefully we can get approval and a recommendation made, and they can take it up at their March meeting. If not, in 2 weeks after that, we got to get our application in and hopefully get funded for that. I think they've got favorable interest rates, but again, our preference is if we've got funding available for something that can help keep costs down and keep sewer rates down and support growth in that area, we'd ask you to consider this being really a good use of ARP funds that have been distributed to all the counties. I'd like to ask Jonathan to kind of go over the drawing that has been made and what you have in front of you, so you understand the scope of the development, and also open it up for any questions that you have for Randy or Joe or Jason or anyone associated with the district regarding the project or our organization. So Jonathan, if you would.
Okay. I'll start with a little overview of the project. Look at the graphic there. The lift station will be along Taylor Mill Road, just east of Boatman Road, right across from Total Concept. That force main will pump east over to, there's a station there at Amberley Point. It'll pump 2,860 feet over there and tie into the force main on the east side of that property. The capacity of that station as designed is capable of pumping 72,000 gallons per day, which is equal to 232 homes or 203 acres of development. There is a current development out there wanting to develop that's possibility of 84 homes. So that would still leave us with 148 additional homes to go on that station without even having to upgrade anything. The proposed 6-inch force main that's in there is capable of carrying 316,800 gallons per day, or 1,021 homes, or 890 acres. All the sewer district would have to do then is just replace the pumps to the capacity to allow to pump that. So that would allow us to develop 1,021 homes, or 890 acres. The hatched areas just kind of gives you an idea of how many acres that could cover. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's where the developments are going to be. That just gives you an idea of acreage for that current station and what it area could cover. We do feel like the west side of Scottsburg is where the majority of development's going to be. So this could be a good gateway to the west, so to speak, for the sewer. If you guys have any questions.
So the existing lift station out there now is just,
The only lift station that's out there right now belongs to Total Concepts.
okay,
It was non-functional, but our Jason Combs, he's our superintendent, he and another contractor came in and got it up and running to where it's limping. But they're able to survive without a new lift station. It won't be long. They're gonna have to have it.
But ultimately,
This would tie into this. They would tie into this station.
They'll bring a line just across the road to it.
okay.
Of course, I don't know how familiar you are with Total Concepts, but it's very small very limited usage of anything but 3 restrooms as far as, waste coming out of the plant. It's all welding, for the most part, or forming. So, not much else.
I realize that, we're talking millions of dollars when I ask this question, but just, have you guys ever looked at a process plant instead of another lift station? Because right
That's a
now,
good point. We actually, like Jonathan and them may even have the documentation with it, but, we've actually done an estimate on building our own processing plant. But right now, we can't. Now, I forwarded a letter to you today that we're getting ready to publish in the paper. I think the 22nd will be when it comes out. It's actually a letter to our customers, plus we're gonna send each of our customers a copy. So they understand the situation with the sewer board and the city, because the litigation, suit's been going on and everything. Kinda outlines where we're at and what's going on. But right now, and I hope I'm not infringing on Tom's tight space here, but, right now, we're paying the city the same rate to have our sewage treated as what the people in town pay.
right,
We're a utility. We should, and I sent you a copy of the original bylaw, we're chartered by the state of Indiana and the federal government.
yeah, we should be getting a discounted rate.
Yes, we should.
So in
Our current town will do that.
in 2018, when there was a rate increase, that's when all of a sudden, for the first time, we started paying a retail rate instead of a wholesale rate. But all of that, I think, is hopefully ultimately gonna get worked out between us. The litigation seems to be dying down. It all started, there was a matter brought before the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission by the city of Scottsburg to overtake all of our territory. And, we objected. They have now, they have voluntarily dismissed that action, but at the same time, we had filed a lawsuit in federal court for breach of contract. The IURC doesn't hear that, they just set rates and hear utility disputes. So that matter is still pending for the breach of contract, but the action for them to take over our territory is no longer pending. And I don't wanna, I think we're
Well, I'm not here to slam this.
yeah, we're just,
I'm just saying, we've had some legal issues.
we're getting
I know
to,
that.
we're getting to the point, I think, where this is gonna hopefully wind down. Hopefully, we can come to an understanding of territories and attorney's fees and get that matter behind us and start working together again as we move forward in the interest of Scott County, as opposed to what's been happening. Any discussion about, the answer to your question is yes. We've started looking into that. Our concern has been our customers have been paying such high rates. And we wanna make sure, we're gonna have to do a study and see if we were to undertake something like that, how would that be financed and how would that impact the rates of our existing customer base? If you don't have enough customers to spread that over, that could be a challenge and could have an adverse impact on that. But again, the larger our customer base, the more customers we have, the easier that is to make work. And hopefully, there's a resolution down the road that's, everybody's gonna be happy. But in the meantime, our request is that you consider, and I know it's on pretty short notice, that you consider extending a recommendation to the council that this is really a good use of funds for the ARP funds. It does allow for the development of this area. It can't happen with that, whether it's city territory, county territory, whatever, it can't happen unless we get sewer extended out there. So,
I think just the discussions that I've been involved in with the different people that are wanting to develop this property out here just west of town, there's a lot of people lining up saying, oh yeah, we might do something with that if we had utilities available. And we can provide that with this for a lot of money. And I feel like I'm here, me personally, I was put on the board, I don't know, any of you know Larry Bauer, when he left, the commissioners appointed me to the board. And, I'm here to try to make the wastewater treatment for the county not a hazard anymore. I live on Ozzie Lake. We were the first ones to be developed. We got a lift station right behind the dam. You mentioned another treatment plant. It seems logical. This probably, if that ever happens, it's gonna be west of town somewhere. Property has to be available. We're probably looking at somewhere close to 16, 17 million dollars to develop that. But we built one in Lexington that's very, very efficient. It's self-contained, requires almost zero maintenance as far as upgrades and upkeep. So, you know, it's something that we're looking at, and it's something, if we do that, it'd be something of similar design.
How much did that one cost at the time?
How long ago was that?
What's it been, 7 years?
It was like 2.5 million, like cost back in 2003.
2003, 2009.
It's built on, well, you know where it's at out there, I guess. Built on the Anderson Park property. Is that
$2.5 million, 2009.
Well, and it's smaller, right? It's capacity wise.
120.
Same principle.
Yeah. Just curious, Tom, was there a public meeting on this the other day, or is it something maybe the city?
We came before the council last night, whether or not.
I didn't know if there was, I heard something about it.
Well, the city zoning, there's a new development going on down
Vienna.
And there's the city zoning commission. Marty's still here?
Plan commission.
Plan commission. They have a 2-mile radius that they're gonna take over the zoning board hearing on that. But that doesn't affect the sewer district.
Okay, I was thinking of something else I thought I heard about, maybe a public meeting.
Yes, and there may have been.
Well, I think the mayor's had several meetings.
I think that's what it was.
We've been invited to public meetings before with the mayor and attended at least one.
Well, I have some of the back history there, what's going on. I've been involved listening to that. And I'm gonna say, you know, I wanna help you guys. I really do. I think that it's a worthy cause. And I definitely think it's for the betterment of Scott County to get it done. But at this particular moment, there is a lot of moving parts going on with the mayor, and he's kind of all over the place. So I think for now, I'd like to table this. And I know that's probably not what you're wanting an answer sooner rather than later. I realize that. But I'm just, at this moment, I'm not prepared to say yes on $672,000 until I've got a little research under me on it.
And I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate your being honest and direct. I mean,
And I agree, I'd take this under advisement and then table this.
And ultimately, and I'll let Zach, but I mean, we've gotta get an application in.
Well, I was gonna ask you just what's the time frame for you guys putting?
We gotta get an application filed with SRF by April 1st. If, you know, and there's other grant opportunities perhaps that we could pursue, but we've got someone waiting to develop until we can get this drawn up and done. And so, you know, that's why the sooner the better. But I mean, we could or not grant opportunity, or maybe even grant opportunities, yeah, but,
Do you feel like you would go ahead and do it anyways? Get the loan?
we'll have no choice but to do something, and then if you guys were to apply and see where the chips fall. But our hope was sincerely, this would be, better for the customers if there's funds available that we could get without paying interest on, and quicker. And we could get it underway, get the project moving with the weather coming up.
When you say, Tom, about the grant possibilities, are you talking about the USDA or?
No, I was talking about the possibility of going through Okra.
Okay. Which Okra works a lot in those type of projects with the USDA.
Right.
I didn't know.
Well, and I'd have to talk to.
Maybe if you could reach out. I'm just.
That's an idea that just came to us, but Jennifer called me the other day about that.
Isn't the sewer system, sewer treatment system, part of those included in the American Recovery Act, grant?
It's one of the potential,
Possibilities.
Uses of.
uses. It is eligible, certainly. Here in Scott County though, the final rules, the subsection 4 that talked about the eligibility uses for loss recovery, it was basically redone at the last second. And the new rule said, I guess it's not new at this point, it's old, but the final rule said that if the subdivision receives less than $10 million, the subdivision can elect to take the entirety of the amount that is awarded all as loss recovery. And the county has already done that. That was maybe more than a year ago, which at that point alters the permissible uses. There are still things that you cannot use ARPA for. The most glaring, I think, that sticks out to me is to pay down debt. But the general rule at this point is that the uses conform to the uses of the general fund of the county. And we can allocate as necessary depending on the request, so long as it meets the eligibility requirements under the fourth category.
Yeah, so Scott County as a political subdivision got less than $10 million, so that changed the allocation.
I think it was 4.4 total, 4.6 total.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, the city has gone ahead and signed over the easements and the rights, the right of ways to the lines and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
transferred all that to us, so what we're faced with is just the labor and the lift station.
Oh, okay, so you already have these.
I know, not too long ago, about 3-4 weeks ago, the mayor was talking about, also annexing more into the county again.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about that lately.
Well, we got another one today, so I don't wanna.
You know, the federal government,
And that's
I've
what I
been
mean by-
involved in litigation
Yeah.
pretty much damn near every day, and I'm retired.
I was just gonna add,
But that's,
Ready 2 is gonna be a lot about infrastructure. And
I don't know if it conflicts with the timing that you need, but sure.
you might keep that in mind.
Ready to be in the second round of ready or
Yes.
something, okay.
Yeah.
and again, I'm not telling you no, I think we need to take
So April 1st is the
take a minute.
deadline by which you need to know.
We need to have our
You need to have the
application on file.
submitted, so you actually probably
To
need to
SRF.
I think,
sooner.
So that's why I wanted to go to the council last night and let them know what we're doing and knowing that they're gonna have to, if you were even willing to make the recommendation or however that process works, that they would have to have a vote on it. So even if we go get through you, we're still having to get the council's approval on
Well,
something.
the council's expecting us to be at their 14th meeting.
Well, and I'll work.
And we can take some kind of action before then. We have our first meeting.
March 1st.
You meet twice a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have our first meeting March 1st.
All right, I won't keep you longer. Thank you. It was good to meet
Well,
you
we've
guys.
Thank you.
And that
just keep in mind, one of you mentioned the, police station, currently functioning out of Toby concept. It is, like I said, it's lengthy, they're on borrowed time. So the sooner we can get this line in, the happier everybody's gonna be, and there's probably about 75 people in the county. You know, so, and they just recently, they were, put in the city limits, and, the city limits, they're no longer in the city limits. The city council has withdrawn.
Okay.
Because of this,
Again, like I said, I'm not telling you no, I wanna know, a lot of moving parts.
Randy?
Yes.
I wanna ask you a personal question.
Okay.
My wife told me that.
Who is my father? Arthur. Delbert was my grandpa.
Delbert was?
Yeah.
My wife was Karen Moore. And Altus and Leah.
Yeah.
That's her aunt.
Yeah.
And,
I'll tell you something, Mr. Moore. My grandpa's Wilbur.
Wilbur?
Is
that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, all right, well, you know where I live, then, don't you?
I do.
But, anyhow, that's kinda interesting. She'll be glad to hear that. I told her may not be an opportunity to even ask you, I didn't know.
Is Jason still out there?
Holmes?
Yeah.
Jason's still out there? Well, sure nice to meet you guys, and thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
You got a mighty fine lady you're working with there.
Yeah, she keeps us in
He's the
line.
one that stole me from you.
His fault,
It's
right?
his fault.
He's already gone.
See you guys,
Okay, thank you.
I can get it from Randy. Randy, I'm gonna text you tomorrow or something and get Jason Combs' phone number.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask
You
him,
got it, yeah.
I've got it,
if I could get Jason's phone number.
I got it. Give me a second to get logged onto this mess.
Well, we're saying that he may not have cell phone service in here.
He does,
Oh, does it? Okay.
I'm sure he does. Jason's got cell phone service.
Well, no, I mean,
This building is
you may not.
Oh, in this
building's
building?
terrible.
Oh, I don't know. In fact, I just talked. You ready? 812-697-8594.
594. Okay, thank you.
That's him. That catches him at home or on the road.
All right. Well, I thought I had it, but I only had his email, so.
Well, you got both now.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Nice to know you guys.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's pocket knife laying there.
Somebody borrowed, Kevin
Yeah.
borrowed that, I don't know
Well,
where.
Kevin.
somebody.
It came from the back somewhere.
All right, River Hills.
Thank you now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm up in the right. I generally bring notes with me for you to follow. And I updated it from yesterday. So I didn't have enough time when I received the email. So I am here to update the layer grant. That is the grant from DNR. We have received grant in 2021 and 2022. Was expecting everybody will be here so I can update everybody. But we have received 40,000 in 2021 and 70,000 in 2022. In total, grant amount is 110,000 we have received, and this was for 8 log jams. So by the end of 2022, 6 log jams out of 8 have been removed, and less than 50% grant amount has been expended. So you have about over 62,000 still remaining. So more than 50% grant amount is still there. We were encouraged to apply for it again, so we did apply this year. Unfortunately, I received an email yesterday that we were not awarded that grant. It was for 30 more thousand, and reason being that we had not fully utilized or more than, at least 80% has not been used, and we still have 2 log jams remaining over 60,000 grants still there. So ideally, what will be our strategy is try to go ahead and finish those 2 log jams, and then we still have a good amount of remaining. And the log jam that we were looking to remove this year, maybe we can ask their permission and allocate these funds towards that. So even if we have not been awarded, we still have good amount to be able to use towards that. They said there were more applications this year than amount that they had to award, and mostly they said that the amount that we have been allocated is not utilized. So we still have an opportunity, and we have until end of next year actually to fully use that amount. And then they have also encouraged to keep applying.
So you would suggest use dynamite and go ahead and get rid of it now, right?
We just have to make sure the ones that are there in the application, 2 of them are removed, and then go to them again, because we still have funds available, and ask them what is the best way to utilize these funds, and if they can be reallocated towards the new location.
So is this just specific to log jams, or does it like cover like beaver dams and that kind of thing?
So this is especially for the logjam removal in Muscatatic River. And this is 80-20 match, so 80% grant amount, 20% is your local match, and you are just a little less than 2,000 remaining to reach your local match, and after that everything will be 100% reimbursed. So you have using the county excavator has tremendously helped you come up with the in-kind match. And then your in-cash match was $13,750. And a little less than 2,000 is remaining, and once we hit that, it's 100% reimbursed.
Kevin Brown has been using our large excavator to clean the rivers out with. So.
In the past, Scott County has applied in collaboration with Jackson County, because where these log jams were in adjacent to that, and they were able to come up with the local match and then also come up with the application fee and do 50-50. So that will be a great strategy moving forward. It depends on you, how do you want to do that. So just the news that we didn't receive grant this year, but we still have funds to use. So that's all I have. And if you have the board appointments, I can take them. I don't know if there's an action need to be taken or what.
Yes, I do. Go back to the other one. Give me a second. I didn't bring them with me.
Do you have any questions? I'm here.
No. I'm on the drainage board, so I'm familiar with most of this stuff.
And my mentor and expert, Melissa Woods, is not here today, but yeah, I'll try my best to answer.
Yeah, Jackson County went in with us to help get a lot of this done, and gave us some of their grant money, because naturally, if we get rid of our log jams and Jackson County doesn't, where does it go? Nowhere. So.
And the new log jam is located adjacent to Jennings County. So I think Everett was trying to get to their soil and water board to see if they will collaborate and come up with a local match. So that can be a possibility next year.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people probably understand how much damage these log jams actually do, because like you mentioned, it may be in Jennings or Jackson, But as taxpayers, you're gonna pay for that in one way or the other,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
at some
absolutely.
level, they're gonna have to be taken care of.
Yes.
Cause they create scar problems around bridge piers. It's a really big, expensive deal,
Yeah,
so.
and it's a great grant, and it
Yeah,
is continuous, you can, as long as you have log jams, you can keep applying, just utilize as much as you can. I don't know how to take action on that, and there's just one.
Well, we've got one more maybe beside, are you talking about the appointments? Okay, I can send you an email with those.
Okay.
If that'll work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will be, oh, I see.
Yeah.
Two.
I've got names in there now. The commissioners have not signed those forms on the back, but they did make the approval.
Okay, what do I need to do with, just take them?
Well, that, or if you want to leave them, I'll get them to Melissa if that's easy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just leave them there, or just leave them there and I'll get them. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so
I'm sorry about that.
I'm new, I'm learning, so.
We all are. That's all of us.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening.
Randy, I might add, this is one of our talented specialists we have at River Hills, and they really work hard for you.
Stay off your word.
You leaving? Nick?
Good job.
That's not mine, and I don't know whose that is. Good evening.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know you guys were on the new one.
She came a couple weeks early, and she is making her status known. So, both are healthy, so that's all that matters.
Yes, congratulations on a newborn.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And what's her name?
Braxton.
Braxton?
We got Brielle and Braxton. I gotta get their names close together so I know who I'm yelling at, I guess.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you. Finances real quick. I know last time when we met, we didn't have a deposit for February yet before the date fell. We got our first deposit in February and it was, just shy of 65,000 for our first deposit. February is always our short month just because there's less days in the month. But so we'll only get 2 additional deposits this month. But so far, year to date, we've brought $230,970 in, and year to date, we spent $188, so that puts us at a plus gross of $42,692.79 year to date. Runs, in January, we did 368. So far in February, we've done 139, so a total run volume of 507, and that was as of Monday morning. So, obviously we're gonna have more runs for the last 2 days, but those haven't been calculated in yet. Any questions on either of that? Good. You have the colorful chart if you do. Just wanted to update you guys on this. You guys approved the Kelly Days for, your last meeting for our service. The council approved it last night, so that will be good. So everything should be good there. I think it still needs some signatures, but I'm not gonna put it into place till the next payroll, because it's gonna be too confusing to introduce it in the middle of the payroll anyway, so plenty of time.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the middle one for last. Second thing that I would like to ask is, does anyone in the county, I don't know, is Kevin still here? Maybe Kevin might have an extra trailer, and if not, if I have it in my budget for equipment, if I have to have them sign for a trailer, since it's technically as a title, is that something that they would have to do? Okay, so I guess that I would like to ask for the ability to shop for a trailer for our Kubota. The Kubota is the last couple pictures on the
I don't need any money, it's in my budget, like, I've got that ability. But, we've got that all finally fixed up. Remember the fiasco last year with, Anderson and Jacoby and all that good stuff? So it's finally fixed.
Did you wrap it?
We did.
I heard say it was orange.
It used to be orange, now it looks like it's not, a utility vehicle.
Yeah,
So
I was
it's,
gonna say, it didn't look like what I'd seen before.
no, so, and then obviously, like I told you guys, we're not doing the salt with it anymore, so the patient sled that they already had there is affixed in the back. But I would just like that ability if it's possible, if not, then it's not. But I would like to bring that up to you, because obviously, we've had a couple mutual aid requests, and we don't have a way to get it there.
Was that just like a utility?
6x12 trailer. I looked online, you know, for some of those things. I haven't checked with Reardon or anything local. I just didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't, you know, have $5,000 in my budget and be looking at an $8,000 item. So I kind of just looked at what they were, and it looks like they're running between like $2,000 and $3,000 for a trailer. I don't know anything about trailers except they haul stuff. So I would just like to ask for that ability, or I don't know what the proper steps of that would be.
I mean,
Find one and bring it in.
Go get pricing.
Okay.
And
I didn't know if I needed to do a bid, but with it being so low.
I mean, I assume it's gonna be lower than $50,000, so go get some, it's not necessarily required, but I think the commissioners have indicated they like getting quotes.
Absolutely.
So.
I just didn't know if there'd be an issue with bringing that to you guys since it's already in the budget.
You get what you paid for. I'll just tell you this much, all right?
How much should the trailer cost?
Well, I mean, I've never paid for one that small.
Oh, okay.
So,
you got one you wanna sell?
No.
Does the highway department have anything sitting back there that you guys don't use?
No. You might have to pay for the sheriff. They have a trailer sitting back there.
Do they?
I don't know if you all could coincide in your schedule with it. You may have.
That's like kind of our thing is, obviously we'll use it during the fair and football games and all that stuff, but the times that we've had mutual aid requests, it's like one of those, like, you get it and go, and I would just like to have a trailer there to be able to go with.
You want an open trailer or a closed trailer?
Open. I feel like that'll be cheaper and fit the needs of what we need. I don't need anything extravagant or super expensive, unless you feel otherwise. I'm just looking for the least expensive option.
Yeah.
I feel like we would need a tall trailer if it was enclosed. Because all of our vehicles will tow that, so we don't have.
Well, I mean, my trailer would haul that fine, but.
But like our Durango and our Colorado will both pull that.
I mean, if you get pricey, it probably wouldn't hurt also just to check with Jerry and see if he's got anything that's not.
Yeah, if I don't have to buy some and I can repurpose them, I'm all game for that.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you guys knew if we had any hanging around the county that were kind of.
No, but there's that LISO program. I don't know that you couldn't find something through that LISO program.
I'm not familiar with those. We don't get to dabble in that a whole lot, so I can get with him.
They qualify for the LISO program, right? Huh?
I believe so, but you would have to set up an account.
So, yeah, you'd have to set up an account with it, and what it
You're
is.
familiar with LISO, aren't you? No, that's.
LISO is the military, where you
Oh, the
purchase.
military, I don't think they're still doing that anymore. I don't think that they're.
You don't think LISO's doing that? The military ain't doing
I don't
anything?
think that they're doing military acquisition. I could be wrong, but I don't think that they're doing that anymore. But he could look on the gov deals, there might be some trailers on
The sheriff department's doing themselves. I think they're the only one that have the actual ability. It's something you'd have to run through him.
Contact the sheriff before you purchase.
Oh, yeah, I can't purchase without your approval anyway.
But
There's an enclosed trailer that's sitting back there, I'm not sure who it belongs to.
Is that the one Josh uses?
No, there's another one.
Okay.
I think maybe I'll tell you it belonged to, correction department at one time or something. Not sure.
just talk to the sheriff and come back to us.
Okay. Then the last thing I have, is You want me to talk about this now? Correct, the ambulance? Right. Or do you wanna do
Let me
that
jump
first?
in first. I'd ask you guys to amend the agenda to add resolution, I guess we're on number 7.
Let me go look real quick.
I think it's 7.
I think it's not.
2023 R7, approving certain funds from the opioid abatement distributions. Does anyone have a copy? I think Nick had gotten with me previously and talked about making certain requests. I think it started at a public meeting, I wanna say in January, when you similar time around when the health department was making their request. And then we received some of the grant requests, from third-party entities. I would note that, if you look in paragraph 4, there's 7 numbered paragraphs, which was information that I had requested from Nick describing the types of services that are, eligible under the list of opioid remediation uses that was distributed by the Attorney General's office. So there's 7 that are listed, but I want to be clear that they meet, not all, but there are core strategies that are listed, so that's the priority shall be given to those areas. If you can tell me if I get a little stray here, but in terms of naloxone or other FDA-approved drugs to reverse opioid overdoses, there is expanding training for first responders, schools, community support groups, and families, and increased distribution to individuals who are uninsured or whose insurance does not cover the needed service. You'll see that paragraph number 1, they respond to emergent critical opioid overdoses, provide naloxone regardless of patient insurance or reimbursement. They also provide training for real life scenarios for opioid overdoses or for other first responder departments in the county. I assume that you do a little bit in the city as well.
Yeah, so, like, some of the fire departments are actually city departments and not county, but they're within the county, so.
And the townships. So, the trainings include, explaining like proper procedures for the administration of naloxone and treatment steps. The opioid abatement list describes medication-assisted treatment, distribution, and other opioid-related treatment. Again, providing education, awareness, training to healthcare providers, EMTs, law enforcement, and other first responders relative to medication-assisted treatment. Paragraph 3 deals with retrieval of syringes, and I think this is where we get into not the things that are listed in the priority list, but that are part of the opioid remediation uses. So they retrieve syringes from the public when requested, provides disposal services at Scott County EMS station, at the station house. They screen patients on scene after response to opioid overdose events to ensure patients or family members have the ability to be transported to facilities with specialized behavioral health services and treatment options. So there's kind of a, obviously a start when there is an overdose, EMS is called, but there's a transition to some other service providers, you know, as needed for those individuals. And actually there's a specific section that deals with free naloxone provided to to patients and families of patients after responding to opioid overdoses. That's in a different section as well. You guys, Deputy Chief and EMS Chief are involved with the Scott County Overdose Fatality Review Board and provide information and updates to try and identify some of the critical issues in the county and keep that board up to date. And they kind of set policy or recommendations for how we're dealing with opioid overdoses in Scott County. Again, there's some other sections that deal with community resources and providing information on community naloxone, Good Samaritan laws, and providing contacts for community mental health treatment providers. So again, I think this is all part of the core abatement strategies that have been proposed by the Attorney General, and the individuals identified are directly involved personally, either at the response stage, which is prevention and harm reduction, or at a training stage for other departments and how we're dealing with the damage, and then working with other types of service providers, many of whom work here, making their own requests, but kind of bridging the gap between just doing the response and intervention and making sure that they have a place where they can seek some help afterward. Okay, so based on what Nick provided me, I think it's clear that it fits well within the described uses in the opioid remediation document that was put out on March 30th, 2022. And it's clear that three positions identified meet the criteria as well. And I think if you look at, again, some of the groups that came in here and were requesting money, those were to fund positions. They were to fund salaries for people. So my belief is that there's no different if it's the county offering the service or a third-party provider offering. So again, the justifications are included in the resolution. Nick, you sent me a document that specifically outlined what you do in the code section. Do you remember when you sent that?
I can look real quick, I don't remember the day. This?
Yes. I would reference this document basically as Exhibit A to this. It's just a more in-depth explanation. And these are just kind of the general principles. So that's what's before the council, the commissioners. The total number is $192,825 for the 2023 budget year. And based on what's already been requested and encumbered, I would say you have more than enough remaining in the restricted category to fund that.
So we just need a motion then to go ahead and
that is
approve that.
Your design.
So we're gonna go ahead and make the motion to allow them.
It would just be to approve resolution 2023 R7, approving certain funds from opioid abatement distributions specifically to Scott County Emergency Management Services Department.
It's not on my agenda.
So the loan we can't do.
That's a separate issue.
That's completely different.
I'd like to take that
Okay.
up here in a second.
Randy, you can make that motion.
Go ahead, yeah.
Resolution 2023-7, approving certain funds for the opioid abatement distributions.
All right, Greg has made the motion to, accept resolution number 2023 R7 of, the opioid abatement, and I'll make that unanimous.
Thank you.
And so the separate issue will be taken up later? At it?
Right now.
Okay.
We just have to sign that one and then it'll be a separate issue.
So you'll have to get Mike then.
I think he'll get with you on it.
I can, cause
If-
he's got some signs and things for me too, so yeah.
You can just hold on to them. So I
I
don't lose
could
it.
do that, yeah.
So I don't lose it and bring it back to you.
No.
This with that.
Keep this one together, okay.
And then the last thing that was on my agenda was, I know for the last 4 months, we've been talking about an ambulance purchase. Last night went to the council voted 5-2.
Yes.
To proceed with with their approval of funding, through a loan for no greater than the $318,088 that the truck was. That was what was voted on last night, but, I need your approval to, acquire the loan, because you're the one that would make that decision. The thought behind it is, as far as the terms of the loan go, I don't have, so this is the information that, it's the same one that I presented to you guys last meeting or the first meeting, that this loan was an option. And I asked, what avenues we wanted to fund it with, and we went, it was to go to them. When Russ originally ran it, he put that loan amount at $350 because he didn't know what it was going to be. They've said that it's not going to exceed that $318, so that would be the max loan. It would be a 5-year treasury fixed at time of closing, with the interest rate at a 4.58%, when that can fluctuate, obviously, where the market's at. They said it'd be no more than, a couple tenths of a point. But for me to secure a loan, I need your approval to do so. And that funding would be put into one of my budget, 1151 or 1170 for the next years to pay off that, but it would be a budgeted item to where that would go into my 1151 or my 1170 as a reoccurring thing for the next 5 years.
Gotcha. Any questions?
I can't get, the reason that I don't have a document for you to sign is A, I need your approval to do so, and B, they're not gonna release a VIN number until you give me the authority to use this as a channel of funding to get the finalized paperwork. But if you so move to allow this, then that would kind of start the process for me to say, yes, we are proceeding with this and we will do this. So that's where we're at.
Basically, there's kind of two things going on. Is you're basically authorizing, you've already authorized him basically to go out, find the ambulance that he wants to get the dollar amount, and I think we've done all of that at the previous meeting. This would just be ensuring the seller that we're in the process of finalizing the financing documents, and you're authorizing him to do that at the rates that have been, if you want to mention those or show them, yeah.
I only have one, so let's pass it down. There's no prepayment penalty, there's none of that stuff, like everything is, we can pay extra on interest, it's not a, you know, super strict loan as far as you must only pay on these things, like we can pay it off early, if we have the ability, we can do whatever on it, just saying at a minimum, you'll make these payments. So for some reason, this board or another board decides to fund this or fund that or do whatever.
Yeah, if you decide to use a different, you know, funding mechanism, you know, to pay it off in 2023, then the loan's paid off.
I think Eric said something about maybe being able to get some of your debt money back maybe next year or something.
Dude, that's not a me decision, that's the thing to say.
Right, but didn't he mention that something else? Eric?
For what?
Yeah, never mind.
I think what you're getting at is he wanted to make sure that it was gonna be funded out of one of my budgets. I think
Yeah.
that's what he wanted to make sure, and that would be out of 1151 or 1170, that's correct.
We made sure of that in the
'Cause that's-
motions that we made.
That it would either come out of 1151 or 1170, like, if that was to be the thing, like, if, it's not gonna get, which the thing is, I can't get any of my stuff kicked over to general. It's not, just like general can't take money out of my account, I can't take money out of general, we're separate entities when it comes to that. So like, general fund's not gonna pay for this, I think that's what he was getting at, I believe.
I gotcha. Yeah. Greg, you got any questions?
No, I just, and I know you're kinda in a deadline to get that ordinance tomorrow. I wouldn't be willing to vote on it tonight without Mike here. I'd probably be more open to table this for next meeting. Unless you recommend something different.
That's fine, let's just go, we'll start this whole process all over again.
I think that if you wanted to go ahead and vote on it, we've approved, or they have the funding, I mean, whether you approve it or not is your decision. Yeah.
We had, okay, so we're good there.
Yeah, I mean, council's already approved all of it. We approved them to go to council.
That was the last meeting.
They just changed on how they was gonna pay, how it was to be paid for.
Okay.
Instead of using like the unrestricted and all that kind of stuff, they just, the decision was just to go this route.
And whether that happens at a later date again, I mean, that, you know, that's something to be decided. You know, whether you would obligate the unrestricted to pay the part of the loan amount.
Okay, well, I'll certainly make a motion then, since we're already all clear, so I'll make a motion to go for that.
So Greg makes a motion for you to purchase the ambulance, enter a contract with.
I can't sign the contract, but I can get the contract for you to sign.
Yeah.
Correct.
Enter into yeah. And then I'll make it unanimous.
I'm not going on that road again.
Yeah, bring the contract back.
Yes. Yeah. Not me signing.
Yeah.
Okay. We good on that?
You're good.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Alright, consideration of the courtyard permit applications.
I'm gonna give this to you, that way you can reference it that nothing's changed when I bring it back, cause we agree on that.
Yeah.
Did we table the board appointments?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think we've officially done that.
Oh, are you talking about the board appointment signatures?
I
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about I think it's the community corrections advisory board appointments, it's listed as Amanda Hurt.
Hang on. I think you might have a different,
Maybe I have a different.
I think you have a different agenda, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe it was taken off.
Okay, yes. These have been revised.
With my gun, yeah.
Lindy's still here.
These get revised a lot, I'm sorry, it might be the wrong.
No, that's okay. I knew what he was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize.
From the first of the year.
Do what now?
I found those, I dug through another pile in my office and I found those from the first of the year, those have been put in. And it's just request to use the courtyard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
So, the,
To use the courtyard.
so Main Street, organization here in Scottsburg wants to know if they can use our courtyard, to put on their, shows and, sometimes they have music, sometimes they have film, sometimes they have both. And they like to use our courtyard.
I'll make a motion to let them use the courtyard, but I also would need them to update their signature sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, these are,
We can sign that for next meeting.
Okay.
all right. Greg makes a motion to allow Main Street to use the courtyard. And I will make that unanimous. Consideration of special invoices, Maximus.
Hang on, Maximus is one, and this, reason it's a special, it got lost in some of the emails, when they transferred between Tammy and myself, and that invoice got lost, we just found it this week, and that's from October,
Okay,
so it's a little far behind.
okay.
And then behind that, Randy, there's some paper put together, you've also got the H&B and,
Oh, there's more than just that.
yeah, there is.
Sorry, separate that. I'm sorry, Greg. So the first one here is our permit for IDM. And we renew that, but it did go up to $3,500. Is that right?
I think it was, I think that's the number.
31,
31?
3,100.
3,100. I think it was 25 or something last year or whatever. But basically, it's something we kind of want to keep because, and we don't want the lapse because we used to have a landfill and it's got the green ooze coming out of it and something we,
Make a motion to approve.
Greg makes a motion to approve the, IDM permit and I'll make it unanimous. So this other claim vouchers for, the hot water heater, which basically came in at $1,740. So we saved over $4,000, by going through H&B Plumbing.
Make a motion to approve our
Yes.
hot water heater.
Yes. Make that motion?
Yes, sir.
Greg makes a motion to approve the payment for the hot water heater, the HB Plumbing, and I'll make it unanimous.
How much was it?
And it's, for the amount of $1,740. And I believe that'll be coming out of Josh's,
Josh?
his, budget.
I thought you were talking about line item.
Thank you, Randy, for doing that.
Oh. Thank you. Oh, that's it. That's just a description of the IDM, what we just talked about.
Description of the permit.
That's the permit
Yeah.
for the IDM. Okay,
Do we have a motion for Maximus?
yes. Yes, we approve.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the next thing, and the only minutes I got in were the January 18th, so that's the only ones that I have for you to approve. But I would like for you, if you do approve those, to sign both copies, so I can take that one to the bank and get our checking accounts, get my name changed over on those finally.
All right, have you had a chance to review the minutes?
I have.
All right, do you approve?
Yes. I make a motion to approve it.
All right, Greg makes a motion to approve the minutes in January 18th. And I make that unanimous. You don't have to make it we can just always sign that.
Well, I know, but I'm gonna take one to the bank.
Oh.
So I need a copy from him.
Okay,
one
you
for
was
the
just
bank.
accidentally gave me one. I got you.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
now, this time I did it on purpose.
Oh, okay. And you're not
I
ready
didn't
for
have-
January 5th?
None of those, yeah, the 5th, the 26th, and the 9th are not complete.
All right, so amend the agenda to, table, the minutes for January 5th and January 26th. Joint Commissioner and Council meeting, and, consideration of February 9th, 2023 Special Board of Commissioners meeting. Do you have that?
I don't have any of them,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
All right,
It's a long weekend this weekend, maybe we'll get that done.
yeah, it's okay,
It might happen.
it's okay. All right. If anybody has anything,
I would like to kind of call another, joint special meeting for council and commissioners. I mean, I'm happy to do it in February, but if we wanna do it in March, that's fine as well, but on a different day. Previously, we called one to talk with Baker Tilly about the services that they provide, but, I have had some discussions with, Frost Brown and Todd, and, about how we can kind of use the mechanisms that they have a better understanding of than I do, for funding purposes and other things, and, they can provide some services that are kind of corollary to what Baker Tilly does. And they'd like to come and give a presentation to council and commissioners. If you guys are okay with that, I'm just gonna send an email out, seeing if we can schedule some dates with, Frost Brown Todd.
Okay, with that.
yep, sounds good.
And assuming that, a quorum of council wants to be there and is, you know, I think we're just extending an invitation essentially for them to.
Sometimes in March would work good for us.
Okay.
The council, 'cause
Yeah, I didn't
be gone for a couple weeks.
I didn't wanna say I was calling, I don't have the authority to call one of your all's meetings, so I just,
So you'll be reaching out, you'll be reaching out in email, to the
yeah,
council?
just be aware that email will come out, and we'll pick a date in March, sounds like. That would be good for everybody, and we can meet, and it's kind of a follow-up to what Baker Tilly does for the county. So they do the comprehensive plan, and, but they, you know, they work with these types of issues. So the other thing they can do is assist us with some of the, you know, I know Yeah, I think we have a current bond on the jail, I wanna say. And just kind of talk about, you know, what can be done in terms of works projects or whatever while that bond exists, and, you know, what else we might be able to do.
Sounds good.
Sounds excellent. Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to end this meeting.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
All right, Greg's made a motion to close the meeting tonight, and I'll make that unanimous. Y'all have a good evening.